Okay, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the channel, the Supporters Club. We have got an absolute treat for you this evening. We've got Tottenham Hotspur footballing royalty joining us live in Cornwall. I'd just like to introduce in a second Steve Perryman. Yeah, we get out live on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch. You can subscribe to us, get involved when we do live shows, footballfanpool@gmail.com. I'd just like to welcome Mr. Steve Perryman. Good evening, Steve.
Good evening. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad, thank you. How are you?
Well done. Yeah, I'm great. We've been, we're now down in Redruth. We travelled through Exeter. I was in Exeter for about 16 years, helping Exeter City.
Yeah.
And so I still go back there for dentistry. So I needed a filling done and for a haircut, as you can maybe see that I've had a haircut. So, and then on to visit my daughter, who lives in Redruth. So, yeah, took the chance to speak to you on this and also, of course, the talk on Thursday.
Yeah, really appreciate it. Thank you, Steve. So yeah, just on Thursday, it's running along the bottom of the screen, but you're going to be live at Redruth Rugby Club from about 6:45 on Thursday. Looking forward to it.
Very much so, yeah. Do this regularly.
Yeah.
Try and speak wherever I'm invited. Sometimes I invite myself, like with you. But you know, when it means that you're visiting places like Iceland and New Zealand and Austria, Norway, etc., and you meet the passionate Spurs supporters, that are, of course, all over Britain and all over the world, then it's really nice to sort of have the contact.
Yeah.
And they're interested in what happened in the past and what I think about the future and stuff like that. So it helps the world go round, doesn't it?
Absolutely. So you touched on just then, if you don't mind talking about it, do you kind of realise or recognise how big a club Tottenham are when you're kind of playing, or do you kind of have more of an appreciation, if you like, for want of a better word, when you stop playing and you visit a lot of these places and get more time in the different countries?
I suppose you are you're playing and getting fit for the next game, and a football career is very much about the next.
Yeah.
So it's the next game. Will I be fit? Will I be picked? Will we win? Are we in a good run of form? And then, of course, at the end of the season, you finish where you finish, and you maybe win a trophy, maybe not.
Yeah.
And then the club gets invited. So my first ever trip with Tottenham, ever before I was in the first team, was as a 17-year-old, and got invited by Bill Nicholson to be in the squad to go to America. Where was it? It was Atlanta, Baltimore, and then up to Toronto to play in a tournament.
Yeah.
So, of course, you meet supporters in all those places, and then you start to realise, hold on a minute, this is more than the famous Tottenham Hotspur. This is the world famous Tottenham Hotspur.
Yeah.
And I suppose as captain of tour teams, I'm sort of invited to different places. And when these people want to revisit England, then the first port of call is me.
Yeah.
And, especially in later years when the people that agreed to go there, like Bill Nicholson and Eddie Bailey, have left the club and unfortunately passed away, then I'm the next port of call, and I try and put them in touch with the people they need to speak to and arrange their visit and stuff. So, yeah, you start off thinking this is a big club in England, then you realise it's massive in Britain, and then it's even bigger in the world. And I think, of course, what's helped is the Premier League. The television coverage abroad is amazing. And when you think about all the clubs, supporter clubs in America, for instance,
Yeah.
and the get-togethers these people have at all sorts of unearthly hours to watch the games.
Yeah.
And yeah, a lot of people are, particularly English players, are earning a lot of money abroad talking about English football and British football. So
Yeah.
yeah,
It's
great.
really like a real global brand now, isn't it? But does it? Where's the most, just throwing one at you? Where's the most random place you've been and you've come across? A host of Spurs fans? Is there anywhere you didn't really expect?
Well, we played a tournament at the end of one season in Swaziland.
Oh wow! Yeah.
And it was a series of 3 exhibition games against Man United in the first year. And then according to who won, you were invited back the next year to play Liverpool. Again, 3 exhibition games. And people come across the border from South Africa, where there was various limitations on what they could and couldn't do.
Yeah.
Which, was a bit looser in Swaziland. So you realise when you're in a place like that, and how far the message goes.
Yeah.
And also, for instance, Japan. I worked in Japan with Aussie.
Yeah, of course.
And you would, you get had some children there, and you take them for walks to the local park, and you'd cut through like not an estate. They don't have estates like we do, and all of a sudden you'd see in the window of a certain house a picture of Michael Owen.
Yeah.
So the message goes that far. Of course it does. And so it's all over the world. It's just unbelievable, and rightly so, because I think it's a great product.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Premier League have kind of nailed that, haven't they, really, in all 4 corners. But so do you get to just bring it up to date a little bit? I know you'll be talking on Thursday down at Red Roof a lot more about your career and things like that. So we won't talk so much about that tonight. But do you get to watch Tottenham much in a minute?
Always on television.
Yeah.
I probably go to 1 or 2 games live per season. That's home games.
Yeah.
Very rarely would go to an away game. It must be a very special game for me to go. I haven't been to any of the European finals that they've played in.
No.
Because I'm not an ambassador of the club, and of course the ambassadors get invited. But I have got a very special invitation from Sir Alex Ferguson.
Wow.
To attend the Man United Spurs game. I think the home game comes first.
Yeah.
And then that one is in early next year.
Yeah.
So that'll be a particularly nice invitation. And I've got friends who live up in Huddersfield, not far from Manchester. So I go and spend the weekend with them.
Oh, lovely.
But that'll be, a real good one, because Old Trafford is always a special place to go, even if you're not playing.
Yeah.
And to watch our team play, especially with our away record.
Quite fancy it in a minute.
Hopefully that can continue. And but within the home form, getting better as well. Yeah. So looking forward to that.
Yeah. How did that kind of come about, the invite with Alex, Sir Alex? Are you in touch with him? Are you, or?
No, not really. I mean, I did have a bit of a link with him when helping Exeter City. We were close to going out of business, which is the reason why they asked me to help. And I think we were about 3 weeks away from going under. And as luck would have it, we played the early rounds of the FA Cup, as you do as a lower league team. I think we were in the conference then. So you have to play qualifying rounds. And then by hook or by crook, we ended up in the 3rd round. And there's a lot of buzz and a lot of excitement, even for us as Spurs people. You're waiting to see who you're drawn against. Well, you imagine you're Exeter.
Yeah, amazing.
In the depths. And Man United play Exeter City. Wow. And we went there and got a famous 0-0 draw. And then they came to St. James Park and they won 2-0 live on television. But the 2 games earned us £1 million.
Wow.
And 69,000 people at Old Trafford. And with about 20 minutes to go, Sir Alex put on Ronaldo, Scholes, and not Giggs, Rooney. As though to say, that's it, done. We're goodbye, Exeter.
Yeah.
Anyway, they didn't.
No.
So great occasion, and Sir Alex was particularly kind to us with his comments. We were, of course, respectful to him and his team.
Yeah.
And so there was that sort of knowledge from then. And I remember doing an article in the I think it was the Times newspaper about because they have to come at you on all sorts of angles when you've got such a game. And I spoke about how Sir Alex was one of the few managers left in the game that controls his club.
Yeah.
And as I used to say about Bill Nicholson, for instance, and Keith Birkinshaw, they controlled it from the boot room to the boardroom. Now, that obviously doesn't happen today because the chips are so much worth more. And, it's this big whole business, this whole conglomerate of trying to earn money. So it was an old-fashioned system. I personally like it because I think when the power is too shared out, for instance, Tottenham with the owner on the yacht somewhere and his family, and then Daniel Levy, and then director of football and a couple of people for finding the players. I think back in the day, if Bill Nicholson made a mistake, which any manager does, for instance, in my younger days, he swapped Jimmy Robertson for David Jenkins of the Arsenal. And within 3 or 4 weeks, we as players knew it was a mistake. The supporters definitely knew it was a mistake. And that's trying not to be disrespectful to anyone. But there's only one man that sort of can carry the can is the man who made the decision, and that was Bill.
Yeah.
Be it Keith Birkinshaw with letting Pat Jennings go and eventually he joined Arsenal. Well, of course that was a mistake. But you can't share this out, the blame for this. You have to take it. And they were big enough and bold enough and ugly enough to take the hit. And of course, they can't keep making mistakes like that. Nobody can to salvage any job.
No.
So I just think, anyway, so the article was about how he leads from the front and he takes responsibility for his team and his results and his signing and his sales. And, I think at one stage, Alex Ferguson, involved 3-4 different keepers during his spell as manager. And you'd have to say he didn't get any of them right.
No.
And it wasn't until he signed the Danish one, the father of the Celtic keeper these days,
Peter Schmeichel.
And then it was solved. And so I like that system. I like people that if they make a mistake, they put their hand up and they say, look, take it as it is. We all make mistakes. And anyway, so I think Sir Alex liked me because of that article.
Yeah.
And Ozzy and a few of our players are involved in a racing stud in Hertfordshire. And they own a part of a leg each on certain horses. And I happened to meet at one of the barbecues of these get-togethers.
All right.
A big racing agent for the jockeys. And of course, Sir Alex has got an influence in the racing fraternity. And they got talking. One was a big Spurs fan and one obviously a Man United man.
Yeah.
And he invited me through that chap. So very nice, and we're going to go together and enjoy the afternoon.
Yeah, brilliant. What was on the barbecue? Not one of the legs, I assume.
Well, I hope not. I hope not.
You said on Ferguson there, kind of like, and Bill Nicholson and managers like that running the club from top to bottom. I suppose Brian Clough and people like that could be put in the same bracket as that. Do you think that's possible these days, or do you think it's too much?
It's probably too much, but I suppose all the clubs are different.
Yeah,
and the manager. It's all about when the decision makers, be it one man, the owner, or a panel of owners, like the directors, appoint a manager. And is he called a manager these days? He's probably called a head coach. And they have to sort out, what are you responsible for?
Yeah.
You're responsible for training the players. You're responsible for keeping them fit. You're responsible for hopefully winning games. But the crunch question would be, well, who brings the players in? What say do I have in what players we sign? And of course, people like Harry Catterick of Everton and Jock Stein of Celtic and the people you've mentioned and what I've mentioned, Bill Nicholson and Keith, for instance, Matt Busby, they didn't just have carte blanche to go and buy whoever they wanted. There must have been some limit on the spending. There must have been. But as per the chunk of money that's available, he's the one who's going to spend it. Yeah. So I really like that system, I have to say. But it's so much bigger business and more powerful. But for instance, we signed Ndombele. Nobody holds their hand to that one. No. Nobody. You might have heard it, but I haven't. And but people want to put their hand up to say, well, I was part of Harry Kane's development, and I was part of Bale's improvement, etc. The good ones. The good ones. Yeah, we all want to tell the good story, don't we? Yeah. There's not too many people put their hand up for the wrong one. So and it's obvious, if managers make hundreds of decisions every day about the time of training, the place of the training, the level of the intensity of the training, or the risk taken with this player that's getting fit. Is he ready to train for the whole session or not? Yeah. And they're not going to get everything right. It's obvious. But of course, the best managers get the most right. Yeah. And so it's a very interesting one there, as per the power of the manager. And back in the day, even Bill Nicholson went through some sort of rough spells or not so good spells as before. Yeah. And his staff would be so loyal. And people like Bill and Ferguson, they handpicked their squad. I remember visiting Old Trafford from an Exeter point of view to watch a reserve game, and I was met by the most genuine, correct, proper car park man who showed me where to park, opened the door, showed me the direction to go in, etc. Yeah. And when I passed comment on him later on to somebody, he said he's handpicked by Ferguson because he knows the first person you meet at a football club is probably the most important person. That's where you get your opinion from, starting at that level. So I'm very interested in what a manager or head coach does and what he doesn't do, and actually coming back to that interview, the owner or the chairman, whoever, with the manager, Tottenham Hotspur is a good job. Yeah. It's a very good job. Trust me, with that amount of support in the stadium that they've got and the training ground. He obviously wants the job. The fact he's in the room with the decision maker, they want him to have it, I suppose.
Yeah.
And hopefully they tell each other the truth. No, that's not your job. No, we don't want you to do that. We want to supply the players, and you train them, and you coach them, and you teach them.
Yeah.
And so hopefully there's some honesty in that room at that moment.
Yeah.
Because if it doesn't suit either of you, why would you do it? Because 6 months down the line, you're going to have a problem when one doesn't live by the rules. Maybe that happened with Conte, for instance, and Mourinho. Who knows? But anyway, if mistakes have been made, hopefully the mistakes have been put right, and then off we go. And we've now got a certain manager, Mr. Frank, and he looks like he started okay.
Yeah,
not too bad actually, league position, and hopefully they're all on the same page.
Yeah, I think like with Frank, it was kind of he had a dream ticket, really, didn't he? Because like league form wise, taken over from what we had last season, finishing 17th, losing 22 out of 38 league games for a club like Tottenham, for any Premier League club really, and that's got aspirations in getting top 6, top 4. Losing 22 out of 38 games is nowhere near good enough, is it? And it was the Europa League that kind of masked up in what was really a very poor season.
Yes. Yeah. Well, see, you don't solve every problem just by changing manager.
No,
I'm not saying he shouldn't have done. That's their decision.
Yeah. Would you have done?
Well, I felt a bit sorry for Ange actually, but it worried me when he was making comments like, "Well, set pieces don't really matter."
No,
but it does matter when you're getting bullied. And we were too easy bullied. We're not bullied now. We're actually starting to bully the other team.
Yeah.
If you think about the last game, Van der Ven actually sort of disrupted the opposition goalie, didn't he?
But why is that, Steve? So we pretty much like if you look at Everton at the weekend, we scored 2 goals from set pieces, and another one from Sarr, like with the header. And you're saying about bullying players, it's pretty much the same personnel, isn't it? The players that are affecting, especially on Sunday. So why would somebody like Postecoglou neglect, for want of a better word, set pieces, which this season in particular, there's so much emphasis across the Premier League?
I don't know why would we can all have a bad day. We can all have an average game. And sometimes it's the free kick or the corner that gets you out of trouble. So I don't know. I can't believe it was laziness or lack of knowledge. I mean, the man has been successful most places he's been. Perhaps he had a team that was so much better than the others. And I suppose if that's the case, you're going to outplay the opponents. With normal football techniques and tactics, and set pieces are not so important. But I go back to the last point about if Bill Nicholson was getting some criticism, his staff, the one kit man, for instance, who worked with Bill for probably 40 years, he would say, "Steve, the manager is not always right, but he's always the manager." And there's something to be said for that. We're all going down the same line. And if the manager is setting his stall out on all sorts of things, discipline, indiscipline, timekeeping, clothes you wear to attend a game, etc. As a player, you can't. As a captain, you could make your case to the manager, but as the normal player, you say, "Well, it's not quite right. We're not working hard enough on set pieces. But we're a player. He's the manager. He's been a successful manager. Okay, we got to go down that line, because if you don't follow the manager's instructions, and he's then unsuccessful, it could have been, he would have been, if you'd have all followed the lead. So it's a difficult one, that. But I think that he was going down this line of wanting to play a certain way, and I've in a way I like that. But in the end, when he won the trophy, some of those away games that he won, he did do what we were all thinking: be solid, don't concede. Do you see what I mean? Well, we'd been praying for that for some months and a lot of games. And, I think with this chap, Frank, on a bad day, because we haven't been great under him. We haven't been, fantastic sort of performances. But on a bad day, we're going to lose less points with him than we would with Ange. Yet it could be that, for Ange's disappointing season last season, he won a trophy. Maybe being more solid, we won't win a trophy this season. But we've improved. Well, it won't be shown necessarily in the trophy.
No, that's it. I think we had we always had discussions on the long trip, as you found out today, from Cornwall to Tottenham and places like that, where we'd always kind of said, would we take finishing 17th and winning like an FA Cup or something like that. And that kind of presented itself last season, didn't it? So in isolation, I think last season as fans, we've got to be delighted with that, haven't we?
Well, I was so pleased for him because he was coming under pressure. The pressure eventually told. He nominated about winning it in his second season and delivered. So, but for instance, I know the power of Bill Nicholson. And I know the way he laid the law down about what he wanted. And say they won the cup and then they celebrated with a game to go. Not sure that's right.
No.
They had no legs on that last day. They absolutely had no legs. So, if Ange had still been there now, I'd be saying the same thing. I wouldn't be hiding away from that opinion because that wasn't the regime that we come through. At the end of the season, you go on tour to spread the name of the club. It wasn't about money. And then you could enjoy yourself because Bill Nicholson knew that he could not have you under the thumb as a player for 12 months a year. It's not possible. There's got to be a release of this discipline and this way of acting and training and playing. But I wonder if Ange knew he'd got the sack when he allowed that.
I think he did a press conference when he was at Forest, and he kind of opened up a couple of weeks ago and pretty much said that he knew he was going to get the sack a couple of months before he did. And he, like you said, like you alluded to then, he allowed the players to kind of celebrate. And he said, if you look at the side we had for our last game of the season, then that kind of reflected in that, where he was kind of nursing players through and allowing them a couple of nights out, having a couple of beers. But do you think that kind of filters down through then from the manager? Do you think like someone like Bill Nicholson would have allowed that, or Alex Ferguson or Cloughy or someone? No,
I don't know about those other people, but who was I hearing about the other day? Someone said a very, very famous manager did not. I think it was someone talking about Shankly.
Okay.
They did not practice a corner kick or a free kick. They practice. Wow. We did. With Bill Nicholson's team, we won the UEFA Cup. We won UEFA Cup. We lost one to Feyenoord. And part of our success was this long throwing, because we had height in the team. We had Chivers long throw. We had aiming at Mike England, Alan Vilzine, Martin Peters. I mean, strong in the air. And why wouldn't you use that if you got it? So, there's a lot of things, if you look deep enough, you can't understand about any team. Any team. You know, I worked with Ozzy as manager. He was the manager, I was his assistant. And, you know, people told a wrong story about being a front five. It's never, ever a front five. Bill Nicholson used to say, tactically, it's 11 v 11.
Yeah.
That's what it is, and that's what it will always be until there's a sending off.
Yeah.
If there's a sending off. And at any point during that game, take a picture now. What's the system?
Yeah.
Because it's never 4-4-2 or what you set out it to be. That's the standard positions, and you work off the back of that. And you know, just to explain that, for instance, when I got in the team and I played with Jimmy Greaves for 6 months, and then he got sort of swapped plus money for Martin Peters. So our midfield that started the next season was myself, Mullery and Peters. Those two played for England. One of the three has to be responsible for 100% for his defending. One of the three had to be 100% responsible for getting to the front, getting to the box, getting in on crosses, supporting the front players. And the other one, so that was Martin Peters, that one. The defensive one was me, and Alan Mullery could do it going forward and going back. And if the state of the game meant that we needed to defend better, he concentrated more on the defence with me. But if we were chasing it, he concentrated more with Martin to get forward. You know, Alan Mullery scored the goal that won us the UEFA Cup against Wolves. So, and that's the balance that you need, but adjustable according to the result of the game. You know, when you build a team, it is about that balance. Basically, have we got enough height? Have we got enough pace? Have we got enough left? Have we got enough right? Have we got enough of that when it comes to the midfield fight? Have we got a renowned goal scorer? Have we got a partnership at the front that can get 30, 35 goals between them? Do you see what I mean? Have we got a goalkeeper that we trust? If you get all of those things right, you've probably got the makings of a good team.
Yeah, definitely. You touched on there with Mullery and people like that. So would that have come like in game from the players themselves, or would that have been something that Bill would have pre-planned, if you like? Or was it all about kind of having leaders on the pitch that make those decisions?
Yeah, some would have been left to you, the players, your understanding of each other's game. The framework of the team is laid down by the manager and his staff. And then it's up to you to work in amongst that. Bill Nick had this old-fashioned idea that the further the ball is away from your goal, the more chance you've got of scoring, and the less chance the opponent's got of scoring. Well, you can imagine how he would have been with this sort of tip-tapping at the back. I mean, he really wouldn't understand that. And the basic principle was play up to the front, not kick it long to the front or belt it to the front or smash it to the front, feed it to the front, which would be like a pass, but a longer pass. Even Pat Jennings throwing out would be considered on the angle, etc. Never straight and all that stuff.
He's a goal-scoring keeper.
as a midfield player, you knew you were probably going to get it more from the front than the back, and therefore the game is about what do I think will happen next, and because of the framework the manager sets out, that gives you a clue as to what he wants to happen next. And if it doesn't happen next, he's gonna get hold of someone and make sure it happens next. For you to be playing, you're leading the game rather than following the game. You see what I mean? So feed up to the front, go and support it in midfield, hopefully get it back or fight for the ball to get it back, and then play through or forward. So 17-year-old Steve Perryman playing in a team with the great Jimmy Greaves. If the ball came back to me and I'm now looking forward because of the training and Jimmy's not running, at half time Bill Nick would finger him. Jim, why you not running through? The ball was up, it was back, and he's looking to go through. So you knew that actually you all had to adhere to that. A very sort of basic situation. There was lots of different situations, from throw-ins and goal kicks and whatever. But you knew the basic plan. And if you veered off that plan, you better do it good. You better do it right, because he's going to come for you. And we all had so much respect for him. So much respect. Because of what he achieved as a player, what he achieved as a manager, with the double and the first, British team to win in Europe, etc., that you just did never want to let him down.
No.
And that doesn't mean to say you're going to win every game, but what it means is you are going to give your all to make sure that even if you get beat, you've had a go. So any of those top managers, that's what happened. They had respect of their team. Their team followed the instructions. They were good enough. There's no instruction in the world from anyone like a Bill Nicholson or Busby or Shankly or whoever can tell Jimmy Greaves how to drop his shoulder, turn the defender, weave and beat 2 or 3 and goal. No one teaches that. That's Jimmy's. That's what he does. And Pat Jennings caught the ball with one hand. Mike England would get up and power the ball about 50, 60 yards. So it's about putting all those skills together within a framework. Bill Nicholson had sayings like, when his first saying ever to me was, Steve, the day I walked in the door, Steve, if you play quick, easy and accurate, you'll have a career. I don't think that instruction changes. That was 1967. So that's 33, 25. It's nearly 60 years ago. I don't think that instruction changes. No. He would say to me, and I'm assuming that he's giving all the others the same messages. I mean, of course, messages are given in team meetings, etc., before the season starts, and from Saturday to Saturday, and a good team meeting or crisis meeting or whatever it was. But it'd say, never, ever turn your back on the ball. Never. So the ball goes out of, you might have challenged, the ball goes out of play, it's a throw into the opponent. When you watch the game on television, the player turns his back on the ball and runs back to a position. Well, if they take a quick throw in, you don't even know they've taken it if you turn your back on the ball. And I remember a famous game where Liverpool beat, was it Barcelona? Semi-final of the Champions League, where Trent Alexander-Gordon took a quick corner kick.
Barcelona,
and it was shown that there was 5 or 6 players not looking at the ball. Well, that's a top game. So we were taught that at 15. Never turn your back on the ball ever.
Yeah.
And he would also say, what's the most important minute of the game? You think first minute you got to start right,
Yeah.
last minute you got to finish right, and he'd say no, the next minute.
Yeah.
The very next minute is the most important minute of that game. And you know, as a captain, I would use the knowledge of that instruction. My most used words, as in my eyes, a very good captain, blowing my own trumpet, was next. And if Glenn Hoddle's making his debut in the team as a 17, 18-year-old as he did, and you know, tried this long pass and gave it away, I might say, Glenn, hey, come on, next, no problem, next. To Paul Miller, who's missed 2 tackles and was hard as they come, I could say to him, "Oi, you, fucking next."
Yeah.
It's the same message, but it's delivered
Slightly different
with a different voice. But that's because you're reading the players.
Yeah.
One's making his debut, and one likes it up
Yeah.
and as soon as he gets it up him, it switches him on. So my specialist subject is captaincy and leadership. And I talk a lot about this, and I'll talk a lot about it on Thursday because people are interested in it. And I wonder if these days people take as much care over choosing the captain as what Bill Nicholson did, and carried on by Keith Birkinshaw, for instance. Loris, great player, World Cup winner. For me, not a captain. Because of his position as much as anything.
Yeah.
And if Loris should have dominated anything, it would have been his own box, his own penalty box, because he is the leader in that box. If he calls keepers, get out the way, because it's his. So I don't know how a goalkeeper can be involved in something in the middle of the field. What's he going to run from the back and be in around the ref? Or I saw us play Chelsea in that era 4 times in one season, and we bullied every single game. Where was Loris to sort of be the voice and the body, or Harry Kane being captain at the front? Don't see that one either. But they're both characters. Son, for instance, they're all good characters, good players, very, very good players. So I see them as club captains. I don't see them as team captains at the point.
Yeah, we've got like this kind of leadership group now, haven't we? That we kind of introduced under Ange. Do you mean where we've got like a club captain, and then there's like 2 or 3 around him and behind him? Do you
call me old?
Yeah.
Call me old. I don't see that.
No.
I don't see it. But you know, I haven't played for. I'm 73.
Yeah.
I haven't played for 40 years. So,
but do you think it's more for what they offer kind of off the pitch now, rather than what they actually bring to the pitch with those leadership qualities?
The captain is in the dressing room, the training room, and he's welcoming the new players. So I had to welcome Ardiles and Villa, of course, great players. And within that, you have to let them know what's expected of them. And the responsibility you have as a Tottenham Hotspur player to the environment, to the style, to the discipline, to the way of doing things. And there's nothing to say that can't be improved. Of course it can. And if Ozzy brought up something in play that would improve us, of course we take that on board. But you can stop problems getting to the manager's office by talking the truth. in the training room, the dressing room of the training ground.
Yeah.
You can stop problems getting to him by sorting it out yourself. With a team header, you are making decisions not for yourself, for your team. To be captain is not a popularity contest. No. If anyone wants to be friendly with everyone, don't be captain.
No. We've got
don't be captain.
Steve, we've got like a little chat running alongside on this channel. It brings us on to a question that Kerry's kind of kindly come up with. She says, do you think footballers are a lot softer nowadays? Is that, so we're talking about like a captaincy role and do you know what I mean?
Sure,
maybe players not liking Upham, if you like.
Okay.
Do you think players are a bit softer, a bit more precious these days, and are careful about their image and how that's portrayed in the media and amongst fans and things like that?
Basically, yes. I think that one of Bill Nic's sayings was, do not ever let the opponent think he's hurt you. Now, a player gets knocked, goes down, they always stay down. They always stay down. I see Richarlison mostly on the floor than stood up. Normally moaning about he's been knocked or whatever. I see Porro, who's extremely good on the ball, punching the ground the other day, punching the pitch because he'd shank one and give the ball away. For instance, he cuddles players in the tunnel of the opponents.
What would Bill have said to that?
I see this. Well, think about Dave
Wow.
Mackay. Think about Mullery. My God. Think about Eddie Bailey. So I think there's clubs now try to cover all the bases on fitness, on diet, on travel, everything. You could say that veers into being pampered. Bill Nicholson, my best game was I scored 2 goals. I was lucky to have 2 shots a game, let alone score 2 goals. I scored 2 goals against AC Milan, semi-final of the UEFA Cup, first leg. We went a goal down. Because of the English season, we played league games on Good Friday, Good Monday, Easter Monday, Good Friday, Easter Saturday, Easter Monday. 3 games in 4 days. Because we were still in the UEFA Cup, we played this AC Milan game on the Wednesday. 4 games in 6 days.
Wow.
Watch it on YouTube, and if you see, there's an hour's worth of it. If you see one hint of tiredness, I'll call you a liar.
Yeah.
So if you keep telling players how tired they're going to be, guess what? I think they'll use it.
Yeah, you got something to lean on, haven't they?
Well, you're making an excuse for them already.
So those 4 games, Steve, how many players would you have used over those four games?
I think John Pratt broke his nose in one of the games, and therefore that to get Mullery back off, who was recovering from an injury or an operation, and they'd loaned him out to Fulham. They had to get him back, who ended up scoring the equalising or the goal we got in Milan, which got us through, and then scored the winner in the home leg against Wolves. So there's a bit of luck involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I reckon we used 14 players, maybe 15.
I think nowadays we change 3 or 4 players kind of every game, typically, don't we, to get through 3 games in 8 days?
Well, I mean, if you've got the players and the rules allow it, I suppose you do what the rules allow. And if it doesn't allow it, i.e. the era where there was no substitutes, you get on with it. You just keep playing. You're not coming off. With, you've injured your ankle, get on the left wing. You've got to stay on because you might just do something for us.
Did you ever have that?
Then all
When,
this,
did you ever have an injury and you thought, "Oh, I got to go here"? But
I got injuries, and coming back to Bill Nick's quote, "Don't ever let the opponent think it's that
that's
yet."
it.
So you jump up, even though you're.
Yeah.
And actually, I got kicked by a player that joined in later years, joined Tottenham, Terry
All right.
Yorath.
Yeah.
I got kicked by him, studded on my ankle, and it like blew up like a balloon. And physio said, "Steve, you got to come off." I said, "I'm not coming off. I'm not coming off before I repay him." Anyway, so I chased him for the next 20 minutes. I had no chance of kicking him because I would have made that fat ankle even worse.
Yeah.
But they took him off at halftime, Leeds, because they knew that I was
You're after him. Yeah.
So, this is the wrong term, I know that, but it was a man's game. But that's no disrespect to the ladies' football I'm talking about now. But it was our leaders, the manager, his assistant, the staff. They'd come through the war years and what's it called? Rations. 1 egg per family for a week. And they got on with get on with it society. And we were driven the same way. I think life gets softer the further it goes on. Because you know why? Because we all want to make it more perfect for our kids. So my kids was softer than me. Doesn't make them less people, does it? But and it's our fault for doing it as such. So modern day players, too much kissing and cuddling, too much in the tunnel before the game, too many handshakes at the end of a game, too much diving, too much falling over. Too much game management. Game management encourages softness. And I think managers losing games use tiredness as too much of an excuse.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good question, Kerry. Well done.
Kerry's a big Spurs fan. She regularly joins us on this show, and she's been to quite a few games. So before
you got me.
We just got another one, Steve. Just before you leave, just from Sam. So Sam lives near Redruth, not far from Redruth, where you are now in Truro. And he says, "What's your thoughts on our home form? Why has it been so bad? World-class stadium, but the players just don't perform there. It seems away teams enjoy playing us at home." So I think Sam's kind of getting at the fact that, do you think away teams kind of come to Tottenham and really enjoy playing in such a nice stadium where we've made it a bit too comfortable? And
great stadium. Do you remember the atmosphere when Ange had his first 10 games?
Yeah.
I mean, the place was rocking. The end of games, the place was rocking. I've not seen too much of that since. I think that it's a very well-to-do stadium, padded seats, heated seats. Okay, there's all different levels. I understand that. People are paying a lot of money. And I think there's a sort of entitlement or an acceptance that this should lead to a home result. And it probably should. It probably should. And therefore, the dissatisfaction, if they show their dissatisfaction at the end of the game, I would fully 100% understand it. Within the game, you've got to give the players a bit more chance to put it right. And that is back them voice, noise, whatever. Away from home, if we're a goal behind, you hear the crowd even more than you did do beforehand. So I'm not disrespecting the crowd. I think one of my strengths as captain was the fact I was homegrown. I absolutely 100% understood what the crowd want and expect.
Yeah.
One of my strengths was I went to watch football from about 7 years of age. I'm from West London. I'd watch QPR one week and Brentford the next in their home games. Old third division. When you're stood there as a 7-year-old, you're picking up everything without even knowing it. You know that the crowd like the ball winner, the fellow who's going to put his foot in and going to maybe make mistakes, but he's going to go and win it back.
Yeah.
They loved dynamic players. They loved the wingers who could beat the fullback and cross it.
Yeah.
And one player at Brentford, for instance, was called Tommy Higginson. And he wasn't the greatest footballer, but he was going to have a go. They would allow him anything, the crowd.
Yeah.
Whereas the more skillful player, they'd say, yeah, when he fancies it, yeah, don't do it enough. Good player, but so if I was a home supporter, which unfortunately I'm not very often, I would stick with the team longer. And at the end, if I came across them, I'd tell them the truth.
Yeah.
I don't think you quite did it today. I don't think you quite lived up to your ability today, or whatever. I know the crowd doesn't get a chance to do that with individual players, does it? But it's something that we've got to overcome. I personally was a better away player than a home player.
Are you really? What was the reason for that?
I think because my competitiveness.
Yeah.
And I think our team needed my competitiveness more away from home than they needed at home.
Right. Okay.
The team flowed at home. Glenn to Tony Galvin to Ozzy to pick it up and run, and Ricky's running, and I would almost step back and let it happen.
Yeah.
Away from home, we could be a goal down, and I needed to not only drive the players but drive myself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And for want of a better term, I was a chaser of lost causes.
Right.
And I think that the expectancy is a bit too much, but it's understandable.
Yeah. These
players are earning good money, and they've got to be a bit more consistent with their. When I'll revert back to something I said, the game is about what do I think will happen next. It's also about what do I hope will happen next, and as a defender, what do I fear will happen next?
Yeah.
And therefore, that would encourage your recovery to goal, to kick the ball off the line. Van der Ven in the final. Defenders defend. And I think that players need to live up to their reputation. They're very well looked after. They're very well paid.
Yeah.
Take your responsibility with the crowd, with the home crowd. And if you're goals behind, you show that you are giving everything.
Yeah.
And if we lost under Bill Nicholson, as long as you gave it everything, you would still walk into the dressing room and be embarrassed to him because you felt you'd let him down. Your body hadn't let him down, but the end result had done. And there's a lot I don't like about today's game, and one of them is, why does everyone walk on the pitch at the end of the game and shake hands?
Yeah.
Why? You want to shake the referee's hand, stand by the tunnel, because he's got to go off the pitch.
Yeah.
You want to shake hands with the opponents when they come off the pitch. Well done, or whatever. Kiss and cuddle in the tunnel. No. I was brought up with Souness. Souness is a year younger than me.
Yeah.
In the tunnel before games, home or away, I wouldn't look at him and he wouldn't look at me. And at the end of the game, well done. Whoever won, well done.
Yeah.
What's all this slobbery?
do you think the game's become so sanitized now, where it's this kind of like perfect model, perfect product, where everybody's friendly, everybody gets on for the good of the game, the fairness, fair play, all this kind of thing, and we've got to show that, haven't we, in front of the fans, in front of the media? Because
I call it it's Hollywood.
Yeah.
I do stadium tours, and I'm so proud that our club have that stadium.
Yeah.
It's not going to be a stadium until we make it a home fortress.
Yeah.
And we win a trophy there.
Yeah.
Then you will hear all the echoing that's been built into the stadium, all the noise. That's 17,500 people behind that goal.
Yeah.
You'll hear that noise, and you'll hear the noise between the different stands. Yeah. Bill Nicholson proved to us that White Hart Lane was not as luxurious as this one, but it was a working class stadium, a working class palace where you went to work, and people that paid their well-earned money through the week, Monday to Friday, turned up at 3:00 on a Saturday and watched human beings perform to the best of their ability. They were there to work. Not to ponce around, not to kiss and cuddle, not to high five, not to this, not to that, to the crowd.
Yeah.
Acting. It's too much acting.
Yeah.
Too much acting. So I'm a bit harsh on this, but I don't care. Call me old-fashioned, please. I'd really like to be old-fashioned. I was delighted with the era that I played in. Absolutely delighted. It was... And you come for me, and I'm coming for you. And not in a fighting sense, but in a competitive sense. Yeah. And you look at some of the players I played against in my era: Law, Charlton, Best, Crerand of Man United, Kendall, Harvey, and Ball of Everton.
Everton, yeah.
Colin Bell. Francis Lee, Summerby of Man City. I mean, players on players on players on players. And, great times, great game, great history. Don't pamper the players. don't pamper them. They got good lives. They drive good motor cars. Don't dare think I'm jealous of it. Absolutely not. No. I'm going to tell you, before my era, an old-fashioned captain one day, someone told me this from years ago. You know what his shout was before they went out on the pitch?
Yeah.
Lower league, but ball under his arm. Right. Come on. Baby needs new shoes.
Yeah.
Says it all.
Yeah.
Says it all. That was the difference a win made to players in the old days. So I think it was a bit more genuine. Yeah, less excuses.
Would Steve Perryman like to manage in the Premier League today?
No. I'm happily retired.
Yeah.
I love talking the game.
Yeah.
I retired because I was fed up with motorways. Yeah. Traffic, junctions being shut.
You've travelled to Cornwall today.
Yeah, but no, that's during the day. But there is problems at where's it called, near Clumpton.
Clumpton, yeah.
If you get there after 8:00 at night, it's shut.
Yeah.
Hold on, this is 2:00 in the morning when it takes you an extra hour to what you should be home. Yeah. I was fed up with owners that knew more than you did. despite me being in the game for 40, 50 years,
Mm.
that thought they knew more. Stroppy players, stroppy agents, who definitely knew more than I knew. Definitely.
Yeah.
So, yeah, do I miss it? I miss the competitiveness. I
Yeah.
miss the Monday to Friday and trying to improve young players.
Yeah.
That's what I stand for, developing young players.
Okay.
And that's what I did so well at Exeter.
Yeah.
And they've thrived off the back of
Yeah.
producing players.
A great academy at Exeter, haven't they? Ollie Watkins and Purdue. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Matt Grimes.
Yeah. Another one went to Swansea, didn't he? And
Swansea to Coventry.
yeah.
But there's been so many. I mean, Man United, and we come back to the Sir Alex Ferguson one. They took 3 or 4 players off us in my time.
Yeah.
And okay, they don't all make it because, you know, the higher level you go, the more difficult it is.
Mm.
But, you know, when I look back at my career, I joined at 15. I never thought that I wouldn't make it.
Yeah.
Having said that, I never thought I would make it. Actually, what you do is you get up every morning, 2 hours journey to Tottenham, 2 hours back.
Yeah.
You get to training, you work as hard as you can to improve. You go home and you go to bed quite quickly because you're shattered. You get up the next day and you do it again.
Yeah.
And that's the way that you can prove that you're good enough to be selected.
Yeah. Yeah. Would you say that the guys from your kind of era, if you like, enjoyed football more than today? You mean discounting the pressures and things like that? Do you think there's so much pressure on players today? You mean we've seen players like Asu Akoto when he was playing for Tottenham that said he doesn't enjoy football, hasn't got a clue we're playing on Saturday until Harry Redknapp told him, and he just took the money. But do you think that's more commonplace now? And
I'm not sure. I don't think players would be honest enough to own up to that.
no,
he was,
yeah.
which might have more to do with I don't know him by any means.
No.
It might have more to do with him being stupid than being brave. I think social media has a lot to answer for.
Yeah.
We produced 2 young players, midfield players that ended up at Leicester.
Harry Winks and Oliver Skip.
Yeah, I read something one day about one of them. I won't name him.
No.
I read something about one of them on social media that if he was a dog, he'd have been put down by now.
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you think that is the way to help young players develop,
yeah,
no, please, no. And, you know, some players take longer to develop. Look at Harry Kane. Harry Kane went on loan about 5-6 times and never showed anything.
No.
Gareth Bale didn't look a player for so long.
20 odd games without being on the winning side, didn't he?
All of a sudden took off.
Yeah.
I get the feeling, not necessarily at Tottenham, but most clubs, that homegrown players are looked upon as second-class citizens.
Yeah.
They are not. And if you strip it right back, every world-class player that you can think of, Messi, Ronaldo, whatever, was homegrown somewhere.
Yeah.
So you just come across them later on in their career.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
They all have to be homegrown somewhere.
Yeah.
And if it was said about them that they, you know, if there was a dog they'd been put down by now, I suggest they wouldn't be as successful as they have been.
Just to get to that.
And I always say the same thing, that the 66 World Cup team, the 11 players that won it for England, 10 of the 11 were their original club.
Were they really?
I think it was Ray Wilson was the only one that had been sold.
Was he at Liverpool, wasn't he?
No, Everton. And he was bought from maybe Preston or Blackpool or someone like that. I forget.
Right.
But everyone is homegrown somewhere.
Yeah.
Where would Tottenham be without Harry Kane's goals?
Yeah.
Glenn Hoddle is the best player I've ever played with.
Oh wow, yeah,
Homegrown.
yeah,
I'm as good a captain as you'll find homegrown.
mm,
So I normally don't like to mention these people, but Adams and John Terry
yeah,
of the Arsenal and Chelsea, proper captains.
mm,
Why? Because they were homegrown. They understand the club, the
yeah,
environment, and the supporters,
yeah,
which made them have a voice and
mm,
a brave voice. And they stood up for not only themselves, they stood up for their club.
yeah.
That's what you need out of a captain.
Yeah, and I think like the list you've given off there, certainly none of them are second-class citizens, are they? They're all proper footballers, proper football, you know, and clubmen, aren't they?
Absolutely,
Yeah,
sure. And it takes all different types. So
yeah,
when I come back to how you make a team, left, right, height, pace, that, leadership,
yeah,
goal scoring ability, put it all in the mix it up.
yeah.
You know, you cannot have 11 Glenn Hoddles in a team.
No, Kerry's just mentioned Gary Mabbott. I know he came from Bristol Rovers, but you've
Sure.
been coming into Tottenham at a young age and being there
Yeah.
for so long.
Yeah. And there's something to be said for if the path is not just straight and easy for you,
Yeah,
you have to work at it. You have to get on with it. You have to make do with the problems that come up. And Gary Mabbott,
yeah,
his health,
yeah,
had more problems than enough. They're the ones that dig in, hang in there, and have a career.
yeah,
They're the ones. The ones that are fed with a silver spoon, no.
no,
I always say that the football career is like the Grand National. The hurdles can be wide, can be high, can be water jumps, can be all different types of hurdles. And these are what you got coming at you within a career. You meet the wrong girl. You get the bad kick on your knee. You need an operation. And it all comes at you. And the further the game goes, the harder the race gets
yeah,
to reach the end. And the ones who dig in, they're the proper players.
yeah. Okay. All right. I think that's a good place to leave it, Steve.
Fine.
And very much looking forward to Saturday, Thursday, sorry, where you'll be Thursday at Red Roof Rugby Club.
Yes.
From about 6:45. Can you just give us a minute or so just to explain what people can expect by coming along?
6:45 will be, I think the doors open. I expect being a bar, a club,
Yeah.
the bar will be open, hopefully.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I start talking about 7:30. I probably talk for between 3/4 of an hour and an hour. Similar stuff to what we've been speaking about. Not all similar as such. So then have a break, and second half will be question and answers.
Yeah.
Where if you've got a question you want to ask, as Kerry, for instance, asked on your show, I'm happy to answer anything. If I don't want to answer something, I won't. But just try and ask.
Yeah.
And but the reason I'm not on television, for instance, is because as a pundit on television, you've got to make out you know everything.
Yeah.
And I don't know everything. I know what I know through having a 50-year career in football. If I don't know, I won't try and kid you that I know the answer.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'll have an opinion on most things, of course, but it will be funny. It will be lively. It will have some interest, especially if you're Spurs fans, but it will actually have interest if you're a football fan as well, because development of players is development of players, not just Tottenham ones.
No.
Leadership is leadership, wherever you can find it, whichever club you can find it, and there's not enough of it around these days. I was consistent as a performer, and I played a lot of games without missing many. So I think there's clues there for future players, parents of children that think they got a chance of being a footballer. I know we're in rugby territory, especially the club where we're going to be talking at.
Yeah.
But I'm looking forward to meeting you and saying hi, signing stuff that you want to sign, be it books or I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, look forward to seeing you.
Okay, brilliant. Thanks, Steve. I know we've got Cornwall Spurs. We've got, close to 200 members down here, and we go to games regularly and that. So, so yeah, there's a massive Tottenham following in the area. And I think your passion for Tottenham football, that's we've just had a glimpse of that over the last hour or so. So, I'm sure it would be a great night on Thursday.
I'm very appreciative of the way you put yourself out to be a supporter of our club. It's my club, it's your club, and it's our club.
Yeah.
And we probably don't own 1 penny's worth of it, but it's our club.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
It's our club. So we have to stick together, listen to it if you want to listen. If you don't, no problem. But I'll be happy to see you, and let's have a nice evening.
Okay, brilliant. Thank you very much, Steve. Really enjoyed this evening, and we look forward to Thursday.
Great. See you then.
Thank you. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. And there we have it. What a night that was with Steve Perryman, absolute Tottenham legend. And like I touched on at the end there, his passion for Tottenham football and just his insight into his playing career and football nowadays. We've got a lot more of that to come on Thursday. Steve is very, very kindly going to be joining us down at the Red Roof Rugby Club this Thursday the 30th of October from about 6:45. And like Steve's just said, he's happily sign anything you want. So bring your shirts, books, programs, anything like that along. He'll pose for photos. He's an absolute gentleman, of which you've just had a flavour of for just over an hour this evening. It is £15 cash on the door. So if you can do that, we don't take cards on a night, unfortunately. It's a private event, and the rugby club do have the bar. If you're familiar with the area, just a quick one, it's not in the actual main clubhouse. It's in the tribute lounge at the back. So if you go into the rugby club, follow it around to the left, and there's a separate suite at the back, a separate building, and we're in there on Thursday night from 6:45. So please come down if you can, and yeah, and join in. We've got loads of live shows coming up on this channel, so please get involved. It's running along the bottom, footballfanpool@gmail.com. So when we go live, we can bring you in. You can have a chat about all things football. So like to do that, please. YouTube, subscribe and stuff like that. I'll be putting up a video from tonight. So if you've joined halfway through or partway through, you can watch the whole thing again. But thank you very much. Don't forget to subscribe. And hopefully we'll see a lot of you on Thursday, 6:45, Red Roof Rugby Club. See you then.